Good evening and welcome to The Link. Thank you for always joining us, and we appreciate, including the feedback. The confidence that we have to keep coming back is because we get the feedback that we are answering questions. Sometimes there is an issue of raised of the time, but we try our best the time we have. And we hope in future we can even facilitate to giving you more in terms of your answers. But we continue to keep our promise of information that you can use and opportunities. And tonight we have both. We're discussing operating a tourism SME. And you can add in Uganda what you need to know. And the background to that is tourism is one of the sectors, the four, that is supposed to contribute, take Uganda, I think there are five actually, stands, supposed to take Uganda to tenfold growth, as an economy. And if tourism grows, we're not only seeing infrastructure, but we're seeing businesses. Here we talk business. That's why we're saying SME, tourism SME. And tonight, to add flesh to our discussion, operating a tourism SME in Uganda, what you need to know is Mr. Boni Kagaba from Likana Safaris. Boni, welcome.
Thank you so much, Sam, and good evening, viewers. Great opportunity to be on NTV.
Absolutely.
To discuss a very passionate topic, tourism, which I derive livelihood from.
Very good.
Yes.
When we hear the word safari, for me, safari means something because I'm a tourism enthusiast.
Yes.
As a journalist, I've been very passionate about tourism and reporting.
Yes.
But now we're talking on the business end.
Yes, Sam.
Let's take the first question. Boni, people think in Uganda tourism is a cash cow.
Yes.
Is it actually as simple as that?
Thank you, Sam, and the listeners. Tourism actually is termed as a cash cow. That could be for so many reasons, but you need to know how to milk that cow.
Okay.
And I would derive that narrative from the fact that, from the statistics, you can see that close to 1.3 million arrivals come to through Entebbe International Airport.
Yeah.
And those ones maybe have an average spend of around 7 days in your economy called Uganda.
Yeah.
And then contributing to the GDP close to 6.6%.
Yeah.
And then that means actually from last year, 2025, 2024, we were seeing tourism receipts closing to almost $1.8 billion. That's close to 5 trillion. That's a lot of money, 5 trillion Uganda shillings, and creating so many jobs along the value chain, close to, these are statistics, close to 800,000 jobs plus.
Yeah.
So when you say, is it a cash cow? At a macro national level,
I was thinking.
I would definitely say yes. But at an SME desk where I sit, you should be really understanding how to milk that cow, because when, for example, Samuel Setumba from Uganda books a safari with me and gives me $2,000, the kind of safaris would have gotten that revenue of $2,000 or $3,000, but that's not profit. That's the revenue. So along the value chain now, you start splitting the money there to the accommodation where some will sleep, to the safari driver guide who is going to guide, to Total or Shell petrol station where we'll get to the fuel, park entrances, permits, taxes from government, and so many things. And if he's not a Ugandan, it's a foreign and a resident, now still you start sorting out the visas, the airport transfers. So the cash cow starts now to get a little bit of the dots as well. So at a company level, it is as well, but it is much understood at a broader national macro level. And I think that's why you said in your introduction that it's going to drive the economy tenfold in the next 15 years because of such, I would say, facts about tourism. Okay. Yes.
How do you make money? Likana Safaris is one of the companies that are in that space of the almost $2 billion.
Yes.
At the level of an SME, how is money made? And I hope that's not a basic question. Yes, you get the orders and you get the money. You say that's not the whole story. What is the story?
Thank you so much, Sam. The story behind making money as a tourism company is, I'll give you close to 7 principles on how we make money. Like I said, when you look at a client bringing in 100 million, that's like maybe $25,000 or $30,000. You've made that revenue, and that's a gross revenue. But the real profit in an SME, whoever is listening, or the two operators running business, can tell you that we survive so much on the margins. It's what we call profit margin, or we push a markup on that. But there are 7 principles or key areas where, if you're there and from the seat where I sit, number one, you should be able to sell an experience and not a destination. Because now, if you're selling Uganda as a destination, still clients will have to go to other areas, either that are better than you in opportunities, in attractions, but then you need to sell an experience so that he's coming not to see the gorillas, but it's coming to see the story behind the gorilla. He's coming to see the whole journey. He's coming to see the women that dance around, and that is it. And that's number one. So, because you run out of option, and generally speaking, Uganda is not short of attractions. Uganda is full of attraction. The gorillas, the chimpanzees, the lakes, the mountains. I think this weekend, next coming weekend, the Renzori Marathon, not to advertise for them, but
we know about it.
Yeah, they are bringing in, runners around the world. So that way now you're diversifying, and definitely you'll make money. Number two, how we make money, you need to really do not compete on price. Because if you're competing on price, someone will offer something cheaper than you, and actually they will definitely push you out.
Say that again, Bonnie. Not competing on price. I thought that is the rule of the game.
It is not. You should be telling Samuel from Uganda who is booking you that, Sam, I'm selling you reliability. I'm selling you authenticity. Sam, I'm selling you comfort. I'm selling you confidence. I'm selling you an experience. Because if you're saying, Sam, this is $2,000, and you say, I have 1,500, someone again will say, no, I can actually take you for $800, and you'll be out of the game.
I get it.
Yeah, if you're looking at the price. So you need to compete on experience. You need to compete on reliability. You need to compete on technology and sustainable kind of models. The third one I would also talk about is knowing your customers well.
KYC.
KYC. If you came to Likana Safaris Uganda today, I'll tell you for a fact, Sam, not every tourist is our client, is our customer.
Know your client.
Know your client. So we've segmented either the luxury travelers. That's why you see for us we could run close to 22 trips in a year, and we are good to go. Because each trip could be averagely $15,000 or $20,000, and we have $1 billion. And then there's someone who also understood his customer, and his customers are budget clients. So he can have close to 150 trips.
Backpackers.
Yeah, backpackers, camping guys, and we'll definitely do that. So knowing your customer is great. So are you going to invest in travelers that are very expensive, that are choosing comfort, regardless, they're choosing value for money, and something like that. Then also, managing the cost sum, that's also we make money, because like I said, the entire value chain has the costs split. So you need to know, how am I making money into this, and then when you have that, you know where to spend, where to cut costs, and lastly, Sam, is building relationships, I'll tell you. Because when you look at tourism today, if you don't have relationships built, especially now, number one, from the airlines company that's bringing you tourists, is it on time? Are you on the flight trackers? You may not have a lot of influence, but can you even advise a client that is going to be a longer route? Take Uganda Airlines instead if you're coming from London, Gatwick to Entebbe. So number two, embassies. Can you support them in maybe through immigration with visas and when they are here? Number four, you're looking at something like maybe the regulators, the gorilla permits, are they there? They're available. They give you money. Now we had challenges of cancellations, postponement because of the travel advisory, the negative travel advisories. Do you know anyone, or can you write to Uganda Wildlife Authority to postpone so that you don't lose money? So that's how we make money. And lastly, technology. You need to leverage on the technology, because can someone sit in London, trust you, send you money, book an itinerary, and get a digital itinerary without making 10 phone calls? basically that's what we go through on a good day.
Okay.
Yep.
We are going to come back, Bonnie, and talk about the other realities. You have given us the parameters to make money. But
Yes.
when we come back after the break, we are going to discuss the other realities and how to navigate them. Because it's a tourism SME business in Uganda.
Yes.
The cash is there, but what do we do to make sure we do not sink, especially when problems come? After the break, don't go away. We'll come back with realities. Welcome back from that short break, and we're continuing with our discussion. And the question we have discussing tonight is how do you successfully operate a tourism SME? The things you need to know. And we have a player here, Bonnie Kagaba from Likana Safaris. He's in the business and he has been there for a while, and they are sharing their experience with us in case you want to partake into one of the sectors that's supposed to grow Uganda tenfold in the next number of years to make sure the economy booms, if you like. If you want to play into the tourism sector, or you quit a long time ago and you want to come back, this is the place you should be. Here on the link, we give you information you can use and opportunities. So Bonnie, you painted the picture before we went for the break.
Yes.
The 7 things that you need to do as an SME in the tourism sector to make money.
Yes.
Now let's deal with the realities.
Yes.
There are certain realities. What is your experience in terms of the realities that can happen in Uganda?
Yes.
Let's paint the picture.
Thank you, Sam, and thanks the listeners. The reality is actually sometimes at a company level, but most of the time they are out of your management, your control. For example, and you can brag when the year's just started, you have active bookings, and some I should tell you and the listeners that we get advance payments. Right now, if you run our bank statement, you could see close to $400,000, but that's not our money.
It's not your money yet.
It's not our money.
It's liability, actually.
It's actually liability. So once you have advance payments, and then a negative travel advisory comes, you have no control over that. Yes, you could, but maybe only in communication and being reliable.
Negative travel advisory. What you understand that? I mean, what do you mean by negative?
The negative travel advisory is when probably, for example, Likana Safari's biggest business model, we leverage so much on what we call inbound tourism. Inbound tourism, that's tourism that focuses on clients traveling from outside Uganda. Okay. Our biggest focus has been actually the US has been our biggest source market, and the UK and the rest of EU. So when a negative travel advisory comes as a result maybe of a disease outbreak, like Ebola for example, and CDC and the WHO is saying, be careful if you're traveling to the East Africa, Uganda particularly, and the Congo. And then they are saying, please, we are even placing Uganda under category 4, do not travel. So a client, number one, who is either has given you money already will think otherwise. Number one, if I travel to a country where my country has warned me not to go to, my insurance is jeopardized. You know, so that person is either going to ask you for his money back or postponing if he has not paid or thinking about it. That's a negative travel advisory. And it's not really good news for Uganda. I think this is to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They really need to engage at the diplomatic level on how do we sort out Uganda, because we've been bundled with other nations I will not talk about on the show. So those are the realities now. Number one, of course, let me speak from the positives. Number one, they have started very well. You have bookings, you have advance payments. The safari is coming and clients are here. But me, when money comes in the bank account, I don't celebrate yet. No. I'm still thinking, if Sam is coming from Germany as well, is his flight still on schedule? Or is going to be either delayed or postponed? Number two, is the car serviced? Number three, is the supplier reliable? The hotel guy? Number four, is security okay for this client and stuff like that. That's now the positive reality. Until now, we are having him review us, either negative or positive. But when we see the review coming on our website and on our channels, I'm like, good. The client is successfully back in Germany and is called Samuel Setumba, and at least we did that. that is something that you need to do, and that's a reality. You need to be a whole constant operations manager if you're going to invest in tourism and running an SME. It's not just rosy that you're done. You need now to keep on checking. And now for us, we have an average of 9 days, and mostly we sell Rwanda, Uganda because of resilience. We're now selling 2 itineraries. So he arrives in Kigali, crosses to Uganda, but every single day you're speaking to the guide. Every single day you're speaking to the client.
You're managing the client.
You're managing the client. You know, you're sending updates. You're sending every single kind of bit. So that's it. So when you talk about the realities now like that, it makes you really now a constant checker of your business. And now that is in the whole business model.
Let me throw in a question here, Bonnie.
Yep.
A travel advisory, like, and we have tried to do some stories on Uganda gets one Ebola case, and it's an outbreak. But it's one case, they're not even dead.
Yes.
That's how the WHO protocols work.
Absolutely.
Can you assail them? Can you go around them in some way? When you manage the clients, even if there's a travel advisory, is there a way you can succeed to convince some clients that, look, this is what is said officially, but this is the truth? Or are you not allowed?
We are very, very much allowed, Sam. And I'll tell people that are watching us that it depends now on your company as well. Can you speak? Can you communicate? First of all, being truthful and honest. Because you're on ground. Absolutely. You know, you're on ground communicating with the clients who are about to come. And then also, the reality also, Sam, is that Uganda is not a mature country. A mature country is a country like, for example, I'll give an example in the region. I'll give Tanzania or Kenya. An incident can happen in those two countries and still British Airways or Kenya Airways will fly there. But now, one Ebola case, someone in Europe is thinking otherwise about your destination called Uganda. It's like also another big case is, let's say if there is shooting in the US today or in the UK, and your visa is today to fly.
I will go.
You'll definitely go. You will say, no, I'm going to be sorted. So that's the characteristic of a mature country. So on the question you're asking me now, it goes way beyond now a national news. It comes to a business model. Am I calling the client? Am I sending them authentic official communications from the, let's say, CDC or WHO or from my company? What's also your position as a company? Yes, I want to sell, but I could be jeopardizing, you know, your health or your travel history as well. Because now some serious countries are now, like I had clients last month, they were stopped to board from Qatar Airways because from Doha they couldn't connect to the US and they're only going to connect through Washington, Dallas. Quarantine for 21 days, and that's a cost for them. So you need now to tell them, you know, this is the position of the country, or this is the position of our business as well. So if they are convinced, then you're good to go. But also you shouldn't just say, I will not talk. We keep talking, especially when you've used the money already, you've bought, and some service providers, their refund policy is very, very terrible. They don't refund the money, and then the client wants money. Between May and June alone, we sent back close to $45,000, and that is like close to a lot of money. You don't want to speak it here, and it's not your money. So if you had used it, you now need resilient models on how to manage money. That's what I told you, Sam. You need to know, is it your money? And you need to keep the realities now moving. This
whole refund thing, they have done the travel advisor, and the refunds sort of huge.
Yes.
How do you keep your cash flow alive when there are those, not every day, but there are those force majeures? That's what they call it. The things that come at you. It's a travel advisory, it's a disease, it's war, you have no control. As an SME, how do you keep your cash flow alive in the face of such situations where you have to refund?
Thank you, Sam. Firstly, when you're now dealing with money, you need to have terms and conditions set. And we really set out itineraries with the terms and conditions. So in the terms and conditions, we don't only lay out the good things, also the bad things are well much discussed and accepted.
Absolutely.
You know, so we see that now if this cancellation is coming as a result of unavoidable circumstances, this is how much we could do, or this is what we shall not do. So from the terms and conditions we discussed with Sam is able now to say, fine, it's okay, and we review. So like the refunds, for example, we did now, number one, permits were not refunded because that's not refundable. Some accommodation we had already paid. And then also the time of cancellation. Others, you know, Ebola came around 12th, for example, 12th May, And then safaris were starting close to 18th, 20th.
Yeah.
There we probably don't refund half, but we see some money, and then the percentage as set. I think every single SME there, maybe also the big companies, have their terms. So that's it. You have to definitely calculate, and that's a reality, and you have to send back the money because the person is not coming.
Okay.
So basically, that's how it works. Okay. And you asked a very important question. How do you keep now moving, especially now? Number one, you need to be very, very innovative right now. So, for example, for us, we are now getting deeper into also tourism-related projects, writing projects. And we have one with the Uganda Communications Commission where we are building community resilience in digital technology. Diversification. Yeah. So they gave us close to 330 million to run the project for a whole year. Yeah. So you have, this money is not, of course, to dish out, but now you have the team still engaged, even when travel is not there. They can actually get an allowance when they are working on a certain kind of work. Okay. So also you are still relevant, working, operating, even when your biggest, let's say, cash cow, which is the safari, is on hold.
Very good point. And let me add, I'm not the expert, I'm a journalist.
Yeah.
Maybe you should consider the local tourists also as a fallback, but that's a discussion for another day.
Yes,
I know your strategies for the safaris from outside Uganda. Thank you so much, Mr. Boni Kagaba from Likana Safaris, for sharing your experience in terms of keeping an SME in tourism alive.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you are enjoying more, but we have to go because of our time. We hope we added value to you tonight. If you're going to play in tourism, don't say we did not try. That was the link. Thank you for joining us tonight.